Today on the Hopefulist, sometimes you have to kill them with kindness. The 8 truths of happiness. And yes, your cat is ignoring you.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Good morning, and thank you for joining me on the Hopefulist. It is Monday, August 12th, 2019. I think I sound a little hoarse. I did a little singing last night. I put a concert on in the kitchen for Joe and Tucker. And, there was a couple of adult beverages involved. But I just was really getting into the music, and Joe was laughing at me, and we are very goofy, and we have lots of fun. So I think I may have oversang a little bit. I was listening to this one song where it's a very old Journey song. It's a live song, and I kept telling Joe, listen to Steve Perry's voice in this. Listen to how awesome it is. And I would sing along with it. He's like, I can't hear it. You're singing too loudly. I can't hear his voice. Whatever. I got to get into it when I hear my man sing. He's so good. So we had a visitor over the weekend. My friend Marcy, who I used to work with at the Wall Street Journal radio network, came to see Joe and I over the weekend, spent the night Saturday night, and she is an avid listener of the podcast. So good morning, Marcy. She told me on Sunday morning when she got up, I asked if she would like some coffee, some juice, some water. She said, I would like some coffee, and I would like to try the infamous Wawa French vanilla creamer. And guess what? Another fan has been born. She admits, very tasty. She did enjoy that very much. So I don't know if I've turned her into a regular user of it, but she had to agree that it is as delicious as I make it out to be. Because it is. It's better than any other French vanilla creamer out on the market. Absolutely 100%. So we had a really good time. We actually hit the island for a little bit. Marcy had never been to Long Beach Island before, so I felt the need to give her, somewhat of a tour. And we hit Beach Haven, and we went up to the Sandbar, which is a little outside beach/pool bar. And we had some food there, some tots. We had some tater tots. Love tots. Got me thinking about favorite foods from our childhood, which led to our topic of the day, which we will get to in a little bit. What was your favorite home-cooked meal as a little kid? I'm going to get to your answers in just a little while. So we were there hanging out. Joe and I don't hit the island much anymore. It's crazy crowded. It takes a long time to get all the way down to Beach Haven now that the lights are all on. There's so much traffic, and the weekends are especially crazy. But we muddled through, and we went on down and saw some people I haven't seen in a while. And it's always a good time. Always a good time. Makes me miss going out a little bit, Getting older now, staying home a little bit more. That's okay. But, yeah, it was really nice to get out and, I used to practically live at this place, the Sandbar. It's a little outside bar at the Ingleside Hotel or Inn or whatever they call it. So, and then we went on over, which right across the street is the Seashell Resort. And they also have a beachside, poolside bar. So I just went through and showed her that a little bit. And then we hit the boatyard on the way back, which is in the middle of the marina. So lots of outdoor events. The weather was amazing. I certainly hope you got a chance to enjoy some of this awesome weather that we had over the weekend. Today looks to be the last day here at the Jersey Shore. It's supposed to be another fine day on tap. Mid-80s, low humidity, plenty of sunshine. But then tomorrow they're saying some strong storms are coming in. And then it doesn't look great for the rest of the week. But so far now they're saying next weekend looks pretty good, which is, actually okay. I need a little time to kind of stay inside. And I told Joe this week, I said, my job this week is to do some thinking. And there's nothing harder to do than to sit down and just think. Brainstorm, figure some things out, write down some goals, all of that kind of stuff. It's so easy to just continue to put that off because, nobody wants to sit down and go, okay, well, what are my goals and what do I have to do to get there? And, it's just one of those things you don't want to do because it's kind of tough to figure out. But that is my goal for this week, is I have to do some real hard thinking about how I'm going to turn this podcast into the huge thing I know it will be someday, and have it go off into the stratosphere. And all of you, my lovelies, can say you were here in the very beginning. You have been tried and true from the start, and I will never forget that. I love you all. I feel like I just made a speech at some kind of award show, so I'm practicing for when that happens. What kind of award I'm going to win, I don't know, but I'll take it. I will take it. So I found this story about new research about your cat. They did a study in Japan that kind of tested out whether your cat knows its name or not. They put cats like in a room by themselves and then did, noises that sound similar to their name as opposed to when you mentioned their name. And what they came up with was, your cat knows its name. It's completely ignoring you. It knows its name. It's still going to pretend like it doesn't when you call him or her. And this is just the way cats are. This is why dogs are better than cats. Sorry, Marcy. It's just the truth. Dogs are better than cats. Cats are easier. Cats are a lot less low maintenance, for sure. But, they're just too independent for me. I don't know. I had a cat, loved my cat. But like I said, I think the only time he was truly happy to see me was at feeding time. Maybe he just didn't love me. That's not true. Frisco loved me. He loved me. Big fat fatty cat. 24-pounder I had. Oh, yeah. You will not be surprised to hear that my big fat fatty 24-pounder cat died at a young age of 13 from diabetes. So, I don't know. I just couldn't get him to lose weight. I just couldn't do it. So, there you go. Were you wondering if your cat just didn't know his name? Now you know. He does know his name. He is indeed ignoring you. I put up a post on the Hopefulist page over the weekend, and I really just wanted to go over it a little bit because I just love it. Gretchen Rubin is the author of The Happiness Project, which ironically Joe had gotten me for my birthday one year. It's not even a book that I had sought out, but he found, and he thought, oh, she'll probably like this. And I did read the book. I did enjoy it. And now I'm reading a book by her on building good habits. And I was just notified by the library that my book is going to be returned in 3 days because it's an ebook and they'll just take it back from me. So I better get busy and finish reading that one, right? So Gretchen Rubin put something up recently on her Instagram page that is the 8 Splendid Truths of Happiness. And I wanted to go over them with you pretty quickly. The number one being, to be happier, you have to think about feeling good, feeling bad, and feeling right in an atmosphere of growth. A little deep, especially for a Monday morning. We can handle it, though. I'm pretty positive of that. Number 2, one of the best ways to make yourself happy is to make other people happy. One of the best ways to make other people happy is to be happy yourself. 3, the days are long, but the years are short. She said this in the book that I just mentioned, The Happiness Project. That I have found I've gone back to many times. That is so true. The days are long, but man, those years are short. Number 4, you're not happy unless you think you're happy. So true. Number 5, I can build a happy life only on the foundation of my own nature. Be yourself. Absolutely. Number 6, the only person I can change is myself. And when I change, a relationship may change. Very true. Some wisdom I should have taken under advisement in the past. All I can do is move forward and be better. Number 7, happy people make people happy. But I can't make someone be happy, and no one else can make me happy. Right? Did you get that? I'm going to say that one more time. Number 7, happy people make people happy. But I can't make someone be happy, and no one else can make me happy. True. And number 8, now is now. Revel in the moment. Get doing what you love now. Do not wait. It is never going to be easy, and you should stop worrying about the future. Stop dwelling on the past and live for the now. Live for the moment. That is my advice to you from Gretchen Rubin this morning. So, Joe always says that he knows that I'm going to transition topics when I say so, and I guess he's right. I don't know if that's a crutch. They call that a crutch in the business. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. I'm not, assuming that you don't know. If you do know, I apologize. I was just explaining it for people who may not know that they call that a crutch, kind of like the and the and the end. When I go and, that means I'm usually trying to think of my next thought. But I do use the word so a lot as a transition, and I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. It could be good in the sense that it lets my husband know that I'm transitioning into something different, which I think is okay. But I don't know. Maybe it's annoying. I don't know. Anyway, on to the topic of the day. Like I said, I had some tater tots yesterday, and they always remind me of school. Tater tots, we had them in school all the time. And tater tots have made a big comeback in the world in the last couple of years. They even have them at fancy restaurants now. Joe and I went to this very fancy restaurant when we were visiting Tennessee in Nashville, and we went to this bar that was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, what was a Leo DiCaprio movie with the book? Gatsby-esque. It was very Gatsby-esque. And they had tater tots on the menu, but they didn't just throw them on a plate. They made them into a triangle. They put like maybe 8 tater tots on the bottom. Then they put 7 tater tots, then 6, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. And they made a little triangle tower of tater tots. I don't care how you make them. Just get them in my belly. So that was nice. We got to talking about what was your favorite food growing up as a kid. And I figured everybody can remember that pretty easily because we all remember being like, oh, Mommy, my favorite dinner tonight. So I'm going to start at the bottom with me that wrote my favorite is meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn. Yes, they were always, that was my favorite meal. All starches. Mashed potatoes and corn. They probably shouldn't go together, the two starches, but we did. Diane says, Wendy, oh my gosh, that was my favorite meal that my mom cooked. Diane says that we are sisters from another mother because we are so similar. We have so many things in common. We actually have the same anniversary date that we got married. She got married a little before I did, but yeah, we do have a lot of similarities. So yeah, it's just rack up another one. Now, Jim commented on this as well, saying, I hated my mother's meatloaf, but it was my favorite meal when I was married. I always knew when I got meatloaf, she was buttering me up for something. There you go. Ann says, that's a hard one. Mom was an amazing cook, probably her mac and cheese with real homemade bread topping or her tuna noodle casserole. My mom didn't do many casserole type things. Marcy says, my mom used to make German potato salad. It was warm and tangy with bits of bacon. I loved it. Dawn says, country fried steak and mashed potatoes with milk gravy. That sounds good and fancy. Ron says, homemade cavatelli and meatballs. That also sounds very fancy. Now, Marianne says, cowboy stew, which must be a family recipe because that is Joe's aunt. And Joe's answer also was cowboy stew. A lot of people have asked, what is cowboy stew? So I said, he explained it to me, but I